purpose of our work was to look at how we could best inform public health community on the topics of accountability and, of course, in relation to access, and in terms of the role of regulation, governance, decision-making mechanisms for the private sector. In terms of major findings, we tried to look at the legislative frameworks and sort of rules transnationally. And we were a little bit surprised also to see that there were very few things concretely put, if you like, that could be enforceable. More voluntary mechanisms, self-regulation, and corporate social responsibility systems. There are a lot of activities and some efforts over the past 20 years progressively building towards an accountability framework. But in terms of implementation, we are quite, let us say, far away from having a well-established framework that could be used in times of crisis or not. This is the whole aim of the paper, is to try and deliver understandable, readily accessible information about what is at stake and how these decisions affect all of us. In the short run, in the medium run, in the long term, because the pandemic, if it continues like this, we are all a little bit exposed. Viruses are not very, sensitive about respecting borders. So we wanted to also start discussing in terms of decision making, what are the governance mechanisms we can have, and how can we bring multilateral bodies closer to citizens? Ultimately, this touches upon another topic, which is trust to institutions. And indeed, where you see people trusting governments and institutions, you also see less vaccine hesitancy.